guys, my name's Dan Cahill. We're doing this YouTube channel to show you guys a few tips and tricks about mowing lawns. I'll talk you through how I was able to build up my mowing business, and I'll show you a few of the things that I was able to do. A few odd things like building mowers, building my own mowers, and a few of the processes and procedures that I had in place at mowing lawns. And we'll also just go fix a few jobs up just to help out the local community. Really, I just want to show you guys what it is that I do running a mowing business. A little bit of a backstory. So I started a Jim's Mowing franchise about 5 years ago. I decided to go with them because I knew they had more work to offer than anyone else. I built up a mowing business where I was earning over 20 grand a week, every week. Within my first 3 years of running that mowing business. It was pretty simple, the idea around being able to build your business to that point. It wasn't easy, there was some serious hard work in it. But I suppose, yeah, I just want to show you guys what it is that I do, and hopefully you guys like these videos. So first up, I just want to show you guys how I build my own mowers. Some people think it's a little bit weird that I actually build my own stuff. I never really liked any of the mowers that were on the market. I didn't think they were good enough, so that's when I decided I was going to start building my own stuff. There's a few videos already online of a few of the ones that I built in the past. So I'll just show you guys the ins and outs of why I build my own mowers, and yeah, and we'll go from there. So we'll run through a few of the mowers that I like to build. It all started with this mower here. This is the Rover Pro Cut 50. I started using this mower and I realized the amount of power that was in the engine. And I was cutting through stuff that was like head high. But the issue I had was they were a little bit heavy. This one weighs about 52 kilos. And so I started going, all right, well, how do I play around with these mowers and make them more lightweight and get as much power of them as possible? So I started coming up with a design like this one here. So a mower like this, only cost me about $150. So I go out to a lot of backyard mower mechanics and search their yards for random mowers and parts of them that I'd like to be able to, I suppose, Frankenstein into what it is now. You know, the engine itself probably cost me about $100, and the base probably only cost me, with the handlebars, about $50 or so. Throughout the way, I'll find, the right boss for it and the blade carrier or the blade plate that fits perfectly. As I said, I would have to do a few customizations here and there. On this one, I had to trim the base down a little bit. If I'm only spending $150 on a mower and it outperforms something that's $1,800, it's just common sense, especially to me. Which is, same thing with this Lonsin engine. For those of you who don't know what Lonsin is, it's a Chinese manufactured engine, and they did a fantastic job. But you can get different types of Lonsin. So, I mean, this is the 910. So it's an absolute beast of an engine on this. And still, I mean, they're relatively heavy motors, but I mean, because it's on such a lightweight base, it cuts through everything super easy. And again, this thing here only cost me about $150 also. Personally, I reckon I prefer the Honda GXV 160. I reckon it just has a bit more horsepower to cut through the long stuff. This one here, the base is off an old Rover. Now this is one of the lightweight ones. You can probably also get the exact same base from a Scott Bonner as well. The handlebars, they're off an older Rover as well. And then obviously the engine is Honda. What I really like about these mowers is they have a full-size chute at the back as well. It means that there's more airflow. You're able to cut through jobs much easier. And so because it's super lightweight, I can pretty much run with this mower and I can go all day non-stop with it. That's why I started making these things. So they've got all this power and I don't get tired from it. As you can see, we've got the 4 blades on it, on the blade carrier. We've just got the 18-inch Rover blades on it. So there's nothing really special about it, and it doesn't look great, but geez, it cuts fantastic. Now that we've spoken about the mowers a little bit, let's go put them to use and do a few jobs and show you guys what they've got in them. If you take a look at the ute I've got, it's a VU Commodore. It's nothing special. It's probably only worth about 6 grand or so, but that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize. You don't need to have anything fancy for running a mowing business. So the 2-stroke equipment I use, I always buy that brand new, just because you never know if someone hasn't put enough 2-stroke in their equipment or not, and if the cylinder's scored or anything. So I always buy the two-stroke equipment brand new, and the mowers are always second-hand. The vehicle I use, you can see it is just a Commodore. It is pretty low to the ground as well, which means that it's pretty easy for me to load up the mowers. You know, I don't have to lift them all that high. Depending on the mower, I can probably just, as you've probably seen before, I can just do a bit of a wheelie and pop it straight up. I don't get why people go out and spend, you know, 80 grand on these vehicles when you're gonna brush cut rocks into them all day and get grass through them and mud, and they're gonna get dented and damaged. It just, to me, it doesn't really make sense. I suppose, you know, some people like to rock up in something nice. I mean, this may not be the prettiest of things, but I don't think I'm gonna lose a job because of it though. I don't think so. So we're just at a regular job in Frankston South. My mowing business is built around the area of Chelsea and Frankston. This is a regular, gets done every 2 weeks. It's $70 including GST. So what I'm gonna show you guys right now is I'm gonna show you what the pace is that I usually have when mowing lawns. Now, keep in mind, I haven't done regular mowing for like a year and a half, 2 years. I've been having this desk job that Jim's given me. I've had a lot of pizza and jam donuts and all the rest of it. So, you know, the gut's getting a little bit big. So cut me some slack. I'm a little rusty. I actually reckon I've probably put on about 15 kilos since then as well, but let's not go into that too much. So I'll be showing you guys the pace that probably not the pace that I used to have, but the pace that I have now when mowing lawns. So we'll time it, we'll figure out what time it is that we start the job, and then we'll time ourselves as soon as we finish the job. So you'll see me, I'm gonna pretend that I've just pulled up, I'm gonna get out of the car and we'll just start getting into it. Whenever I mow lawns, I've always got a spare piece of brush cutter line in my pocket at all times, because there's nothing worse when you're brush cutting and you run out of brush cutter line at the very end of the backyard and then you've got to come run back all the way to the car. It's second savers that you've got to think of. So you'll see me do that. You'll see me do some really large, like triangle brush cutting in the corners. That way the mower can get around without having to do 3-point turns in the corners. I've always said that the fastest way to mow any lawn is not to mow the same spot twice. So that helps with that, so you don't have to pull the mower backwards and then keep going, because every time you pull the mower backwards, obviously you're mowing the same spot twice. So you'll see that as well. We'll do a bit of an overhead shot with the drone. You'll be able to see, I'll do a ring around the backyard 3 times, clockwise with the mower, and then I'll go up and down. That's how I usually mow lawns. The reason I do it around 3 times is quite simply so that the handlebars don't get stuck in any fences or anything like that. I don't have to do a pivot, I don't have to do a 3-point turn, with the mower, which again, as soon as I pull it backwards, it's mowing the same spot twice. So that's why I do 3 rings and then up and back. And so you'll see this is the way I do it. I mow lawns pretty quickly. Maybe not so much now from all those jam donuts, but you'll get the gist. All right, let's do it. You can see, but there's a tiny bit of mulch laying down there. So even though I've only got a little bit left, I've got to empty this catcher. So you can see when you're doing the blow around, that's when you grab any of the stuff that's the little imperfections that you don't like, in case you have missed anything along the way. So you're not really doubling back because, well, you have to blow anyways. So you just fix up any little issues, because although speed is important, quality is definitely your priority. Quality is what keeps the regulars staying as regulars, where speed is obviously, that's how you make your dollars. There's no dollars to make if you don't have any regulars or any customers that want your service. So that's it, that's the job done. I'm not sure what the time is. As I said, I'm a little rusty, a little bit, but I tell you what, I worked up a bit of a sweat doing that as well. That's what 2 years of sitting behind a desk does. Some of my franchisees, if they're watching this video, they'll probably have a bit of a laugh at me as well. Call me a bit weak. That's all right, I get it. I probably am now. But that's an average regular lawn. As I said, that's a $70 job. I don't know how long it took us. We started at 10 past 11, was it? You're looking at 11:35, so 25-minute job or so. So that's about right. You know, sometimes you've got to fill up petrol. Sometimes you've got to put brush cutter line in. And you know, that'll take a few extra minutes, but I reckon that's about right there. So we've done this job now. Now when I do invoices, so I email them once we get back home later on at night. That way throughout the day, all you're doing is trying to be as productive as possible to try and get your jobs done. So on an average day, I would probably do maybe 12 lawns a day by myself. Some days, maybe 14. I've had days where I've had more than that, but obviously it depends on the size of your job. It also depends on how close they are together to what you're going to do. Most contractors would probably do about 10 in a day, which is not bad, not a bad effort. So, but that gives you a bit of an idea. Keep in mind, I am pretty young as well. So even though I haven't worked in 2 years, you know, I still do have the whole youth thing going for me. So hopefully that helps you guys out, and I reckon that last comment would have stirred up a few of my 70-year-old franchisees. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next one, all right?